Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. And today we'll continue on with our series of finishing third. I don't know if you can finish third at this point at the F1 Manager 2000. Of course, if you like and subscribe, it will help us greatly. Let us reach our goal of making 10 subscribers. But anyway, let us go back into this game right here. So we're currently in 5th. Unfortunately, we're not doing too well, but like we also need to fix up our sponsors because they kind of left, and it's not been quite good because we had a DNF again in what's called San Marino, and we also had, unfortunately, no points at Monaco. But we're at Spain next, so it's gonna do well. I hope we actually do well at this race. Alright, so before we continue on, right, we have to actually sign our drivers. So I need to check if we have parts because we haven't gotten part upgrade since Imola, I think. But anyway, unfortunately, big man Ting here, he's leaving. So both our drivers are leaving for Benetton and Sauber. So right now we're gonna look for new guys. So I don't know who to pick, to be frank with you. So we might actually go with someone new, or like Pedro Diaz. I don't know if it's, but we can go. We need to look for someone actually fast. So I think Fisichella, let's go for him. He's 97 rated. He's not in his prime yet, unless he reaches Fernando Alonso. Then our second driver, I don't know who we can actually pick. We can go with the cheap option, where it's like some test driver giving a main seat, or I get someone like Alexandra to come for us. But we need to I need to actually think about this more before we make the final decision. Well, let's just sign our test driver first into his same role for next season. But like, in terms of our main driver, I think I need to actually think about it. We could get anyone right now, but the issue is price-wise is going to be a bit of issue. We can also need to start thinking about our supplier. Honda is actually doing us quite well. Maybe get Ferrari part, but Ferrari can also be a dickhead to us. We still, of course, haven't got no parts. We actually have got no parts. That's the issue. That's quite worrisome. But like, of course, this episode we're gonna, of course, pick a new driver at some point. Okay, so we are in here in end of practice now. So we on to 4th place between McLaren. Of course, we try to finish third. But like, Stewart actually did well with Rubens. But right now, I think for the next stint for qualifying, we need to actually improve. So right, we need to check for parts because we haven't changed the parts since our devastating Monaco race. But it seems like they should be good for qualifying in that department. Yeah, so I think all is well. Let's get Damien Hill. With this change he's setting quickly. Add some this, deduct some fuel. And let's our boy, of course, go out onto the track. See what he has got. Of course, you can actually also see other guys' like cars on track. I wish you could also see like their car temperatures and stuff. Of course, that's kind of cheating, but you know, that would spice up stuff. You know, on online mode for this would be interesting. One day I hope I'll actually get the new F1 game, and I'll try it out at some point. But definitely it's gonna happen. You just wait, sunshine. But as we focus back onto him being on track, I think he's done his first lap, so he's currently P1. So at the moment we are currently in a good position. Okay, so he's about to finish his last lap over here. I'll try to sum up like basically most of qualifying. As he's gonna cross the line, we're gonna tell him to pit next lap. He's doing quite well in the standings. I think he's like still first, yes, because no one else hasn't gone out as yet. But I'm thinking just letting Heinz Harrod go in. So of course, gotta tell him to pit in, and then we're gonna send out our boy. We can't change his setup. So of course, change his order push. Ooh, almost crashed there with the Sauber team. But you know, I feel like we should at this point get P4, 5, I think, for qualifying. Not too optimistic, but I think we should have an edge over the Stewart Grand Prix. So we have end of qualifying, we reached P5 and P6, so that's quite good. Although Rubens did our qualifiers, which we're trying to catch up to them first. So our priority is get up to Stewart Grand Prix because I think they're second. But of course, you need to change the stuff. Our reliability, judging by Monaco, has definitely improved drastically from our disaster show at San Marino. So right over here, I think we're going to change some parts for Damon and Heinz Harold, so at least they don't have to experience any tire wear. I think let's give him the new, maybe. Actually, let's go with the new engine. In fact, yes, and then get electronics to get just change everything else. The car, most of the stuff looks clean. We could actually just use it, but just don't wanna risk having an issue with our car breaking down. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, at the Spanish Grand Prix. Of course, McLaren and the Ferrari battle, despite having a 12-point lead, could reduce here. In the 7th round of the tournament, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, this game on Windows 10 is atrocious. But anyway, back onto the thing, going into our very first corner over here. Eddie Irvine just dropped down to 10th position. That's not really good for Ferrari, trying to get as much points as possible. Sitting down in 6th, Heinz Harold. Stewart Grand Prix with Rumans is leading with the Williams of presumably Ralf Schumacher behind us. So we gotta make sure that Damon Hill has to push right now. We need to close down that gap to Rubens. Well, Eddie Irvine has just came down up to 9th position, so in terms of our positioning, we're in a good space right now. We have not lost any position. That's good. Not like in Monaco. We can actually, because McLaren has been having a lot of mechanical issues in this race, or the races previously, so we can bank on them, because there's also going to be DNF for our side potentially. But you never know. Maybe this could be our first race where both drivers actually finish the race. But that's our mission right now. So right now he is overtaken for 4th, and then Heinz Harold just loses position to Irvine with that Ferrari engine, which is quite overpowered. But we're in quite good positioning right now, so we could be comfortable for a while, but we need to actually increase our pace coming by pit stop time. Just need to check, so make sure everyone's wear is fine. Lap 11. But it seems quite good. We were in good positionings right now. But I just want Heinz to push a bit. Just they're quite close together still. They actually battle. Try ease off a bit. Damien. Don't know Ferrari incident. But so far it's looking like we can. By pit stop time, Damien has to go to pit stop because there's an error tire shift. And also Heinz Harold has to pit in now. So we need to change our fuel load now. So that means I need to actually think on the spot right now. So we need to actually either pit in now and go for a long stint. I think that's what I'm going to actually try to do. And I hope that actually works, because then at least we will have enough fuel to go at least lap 32, which means the tires won't be worn that much. Although like it's gonna be a bit hard to like maintain as he goes into the pits. Heinz Harold too. Both drivers they're in the midfield though. Damon Hill came out in the midfield, so there's the definite gap between them. So thinking out loud here, we need to statistically mean he's lap 10. Okay, he's 10th position. His refilled, so he has more than enough to actually go to lap 32. But we just alright, thank you kind sir. He has congratulated us for a good stop, so that means we need to cancel that. And I think we need to get lap 38, presumably according to his fuel load. But he would have just enough fuel to actually have an edge, because his car's gonna be lighter by the time we reach our second pit stop. So that's our objective right now, is to make sure that we have enough fuel to go for a longer stint. Approaching our pit stop, we are currently off the pace now because our car has quite a lot of wear our tires, but like we could, I think we will get enough positions right before their pit stop, which could give us an advantage towards the very end. That's what I'm planning, because at least if that's the case, we should actually gain a position. I'm thinking we could actually get P3 or P2, but if that's all dependent on how much more speed we can get in as the pit window opens for everyone else starts pitting at the usual times. So of course, there's a lot of DNFs. Johnny Herbert is just DNF, which is good for us. So that is, in terms of this championship, that is all quite smooth. Just need to ensure that we actually have enough fuel, which is my biggest priority, is that we need to actually cross the line with both cars with no fuel or any issues, because it seems like Ware isn't that bad on both of their cars, and you can see he's improved his lap times. And now I think everyone else is coming off the pits now. So Damon Hill's P5 now, Fisichella P7, Schumacher P3. So we have 5, 8, which there wasn't too bad of, so maybe we could have let Heinz gone out a bit longer, but it should be fine. I think we can still capitalize on the reliability issue of McLaren. Whew. So basically, we are currently still 7th and 4th. Yes. So Heinz can't suffer from a pit stop, but he could catch up to Fisichella. Thinking about it, he has enough wear on his. The issue is that we don't want to wear his tires too much that he loses. But like you can see, Damon Hill is doing quite well, having a good gap between him and I think Barrichello or Fisichella, yeah. So we could actually get into points. We just need to make sure Heinz Harold capitalizes on getting Fisichella these few laps. Yeah, we just need to make sure something happens. Oh, and something might have just happened. Looking at it, I don't know what just happened. Yes, there we go. Because I saw the times there, and it's our boy Derek Carthard who just DNF'd here. I literally saw that because I saw his lap times didn't change at all, and I was like, wait a second, we might have just got a DNF. Just press P3 and I think P6, P5. Yes, I think it's taken Rubens. So that is very good news for us. That is too good news for us. As he crosses the line over here, Damon Hill is victorious for us. Our second podium of the season, or third, I think. Yeah. Well done, big boys. We are trying to do this now. Fisichella and Heinz Harold are chasing each other down. I don't think he'll catch us this lap. We are 19 seconds behind him, so it's not looking good at this department, but P5 is good enough. That is 2 points. Yeah, 2 points to get 6 points in total here. He's coming into his last few corners here of the race, and he's actually quite far. His killer's way too far ahead of us right now, but this is a good result coming in. We just let him drive home. As long as there's a crash in his last lap, we should be fine. Just drive the whole, just bring it home. I'm starting it up because of this. Just bring the car home. And he's actually doing quite well. Like even the commentators say, he's pushing. He is trying to make sure we have no chance of catching him. As he's gonna cross the line now, finishing P4. And the Heinz Harold's coming through the last few corners of Barcelona. P5. What a lad. He has gotten us into points again. After those 2 horrendous races of no points, we literally scored 0 points in 2 races. We have finally scored a nice lush 6 points into this stint of this race over here. But that's a very good result from us, and I'm actually quite happy. So yes, yeah, good things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap it up for us. Let's check. The next race will be at Canada, and of course, we are actually in a good position for our championship bout over here for P3. We're fourth. What a comeback! We are 3 points behind Stewart and 10 points behind McLaren. So as long as we trying to score them, we should be fine. But anyway, guys, take care and goodbye, and I'll see you next time.